Hello, hello, hello. I know the world is going crazy. There is so much going on. But guess what? Just like there is so much going on, we need to continue to move on. And the users need us. Our customers need us. Your customers need you. Therefore, in this presentation, I want to share with you the difference between appreciative inquiry and usability testing. And if you're an expert that you believe that you already know all of this, then I'm sorry that I'm not able to please you. But if you have never heard about the differences between appreciative inquiry and usability testing, I'm going to share with you today some of the comparison, some of the benefits, why, when is it that you can use it, and how it helped me in my job. I work as a UX, UI designer, CX researcher, a little bit of all of that. But my job, and I love talking. And that's what I do. I talk to users all the time. I talk to stakeholders in order to create great products. So let me go ahead and get started because you know I can talk forever. So let me get started and share my screen with you. I have this presentation I'm going to share with you guys. So, okay. Now, with that said, again, let me introduce myself. My name is Sandra Graves. I work as a UX UI researcher. I have over 20 years experience. Okay, yes, I'm old. Okay, I'm old, but I have over 20 years experience working in the industry, digital industry. And what I want to share with you is really basically what you see on the screen, appreciative inquiry and usability testing. And really, as a UX researcher or CX researcher, one of the basic things that you need to know about conducting an appreciative inquiry or usability testing is you need to have these three skills. And that is user-centered design skills, data-driven insights, and problem-solving skills. Let me explain. You need to be able to think deeply about the user, how to empathize with the user, pull out the user's pain points, understand their motivation, understand their challenges. That is a skill that you should have before you even conduct an appreciative inquiry or a usability testing. When it comes to the data, you need to have the ability to be able to pull, gather qualitative data or quantitative data. When I'm talking about qualitative data, I am talking about talking to users, sending out surveys, really thinking about the question that you're going to ask them. If the question is not good, their results will not be good. Let me say that again. If the questions that you are asking are not good questions, the results of your questions are not going to be good as well. Then come to the quantitative. We're talking about here metrics. We're talking about the numbers. How many users are saying this? You need to be able to understand, data like where it come from, Google data or click data or any data that where you can pull and create those charts and provide your stakeholders with those reports that say, this is what our customers are saying. This is what our users are saying. When it comes to problem solving, you need to be able to analyze the gaps. You need to be able to look at your data, look at what the users are saying, and look at what your stakeholders are saying. When I'm talking about that, your business. A lot of times, what I hear from a lot of the UX people, they say, oh, we focus on the users. We are not focused on the business. Well, let me tell you something. If the stakeholders do not invest, its business do not invest in the product, the users are not going to be able to get the product. And if you don't talk to the users, guess what? It's a wasted money for the business. So you have to always be thinking, it doesn't matter who you are, as long as you are a UXer or a designer, researcher, whatever it is that you are doing, you need to be thinking both. One may be your greatest focus, but you need to always consider both the users and the business. One is return on investment, The other one is all about a good experience. And that's the reason why I love doing this. So let's continue. What is appreciative inquiry? Well, appreciative inquiry is really about capturing the strength of your product or something that you potentially want to create. Is at that beginning stage starting to talk to people, get inspiration from your customers, from your users. Maybe you are looking at what is happening in your industry and you're thinking, I want to create a product, I want to offer a new service. Well, an appreciative inquiry help you with that. And some of those key use cases is you want to do it early on in the product ideation stage when you first starting to consider the product. Then you want to be able to make sure that that is aligned with your team. So when you are doing an appreciative inquiry, you go to your team members, you go to your customers, you go to the business, you go to the marketing, you go to everybody and try to find out to make sure everybody is connected with the same idea, and maybe everybody have a different idea. And then as a UXer or researcher, you can put those things together and make sure that everybody have consensus in what is going on. And then again, aspiration. And when I'm talking about that vision, that before you want to help them out with that strategy of what kind of product they're going to create, what is it that they're going to offer to the customers. But in order for you to create great product for your customers, you need to talk to your customers. You need to talk to your users. That is the most important thing. I do not care how much AI you are using for your product. I do not care how much robots you are using. Human voice is important because no matter what you're doing with AI, you have to connect with real humans. And real humans are connected by emotion. They have feelings, they have desires, they have challenges. And that is how we come in. UX, CX, researchers, designers, our job is to really get in there and try to figure out how we're going to make it better for them. So that is how that vision is created, that aspiration, that inspiration, that is where that comes from. Now, what is usability testing? I'm sure you have heard that. You might have even, fill in a survey at some point and say, would you like to test with this? Hold on a second. Sorry. Would you like to test this product? Well, that is a usability testing. And it's really about trying to understand the complexity of your product at a particular task. That is what usability testing is for. It's really trying to understand what frictions that the customers are experiencing, because the customers might know that they're having a problem with something, when they go in and they try to place an order, but they will not know how to explain it. So at a usability testing, what happened is that you can observe what is happening as the observer facilitator of this task, and then you can pay attention to the friction points. Those are the points that you see where the user is starting to spend too much time or is starting to have challenges. Those are those points of friction. So what you're going to do with the usability testing is validating your prototype before you send it to the developers. So it's really validating that, showing that to your stakeholders, letting them know this is what the user says based on that prototype. And then you want to be able to fix issues. It's better for you to fix issues, all of the issues, before the launching, because by that time, business have invested money in developers, in resources, a lot of time, and that can be a big struggle for them. So you want to be able to catch those early, and that's how usability testing will help you. And then the competitive benchmarking, that is really where you do a usability testing really to understand what your competitors are doing. So let's say that you go to someone's website and you want to know how it is working out. What is the pain points of that website? And that is your competitor, because what is happening that you want to build a product But your competitor already have a website that work. Guess what? You can test your competitor's website to see what is missing and how you can make it better. As long as the website is public, baby, it is all game. And you can go and test with that website and make sure that you understand what is it that going on and what friction, what challenges, what pain points their users are experiencing in order for you to understand your opportunities to be able to create a better product. And even after you test them, make sure you test your own product if you have one. If you don't have one, then that's how you can test your competitor. But if you have one, you also compare, apples with apples. So apples with oranges or apples with bananas, whatever it is that you want to compare it with, you compare it with, and you try to come up with that data for your business stakeholders and your developers to make a better solution. So, appreciative inquiry. Let me talk about the pros. And if you notice, I'm trying to not make this video long. I mean, I can talk for hours. Okay, I conduct workshops that are like 5, 8 hours a day, and I can talk. Well, usually by the end that I'm finished talking, I'm really tired and my voice sound like a man anyway by that time. But right now, talking about appreciative inquiry, the pros is it definitely going to boost your teams. They get really motivated when they see the results of an appreciative inquiry. And every time I do this and I share it with the team, they are excited because they feel, wow, we are doing something good. They're really excited about that. They're really excited about, oh, if I discovered something that the users are, oh, I would have liked this to maybe instead of the blue, I would have liked it to be, purple, or maybe you can make it orange, or maybe you can change the button and put they give you like more ideas. So when you go to your team with an appreciative inquiry, you are like, they love this, but they said that they would like this better, right? So instead of you going to your team and saying they hated the product, no, they actually love it. They did not complain about the size of the button, about the font, or anything like that. They just gave you some ideas about additional colors options. And that is a good appreciative inquiry. You want to definitely focus on the big picture when it comes to an appreciative inquiry, because what it allows you to do is be able to understand your product better, to be able to see what is it that you are going, how is it that you are going to build, what kind of document you're going to create that is helpful to the graphic designers or developers to be able to create a style guide that is going to help you be consistent. And that's the reason why you want to create, conduct an appreciative inquiry, because it's going to really help you focus on the big picture. And when the entire team is focused on the big picture and everybody is on the same page, you do have a successful product. Some of the no-nos about an appreciative inquiry is that when you do an appreciative inquiry, it's because it is at the beginning of the stage, it's really things them for you to brainstorm on, things them for you to consider. So it's not going to be something that's going to be fixed immediately. It's you pulling and gathering these insights in order to help the designers, the developers be able to think, okay, what are we going to do now to be able to implement this idea? So you bring in that information up front. And one of the things in here about the appreciative inquiry, overlooking those critical flaws, is depend on the researcher. If the researcher does not have the experience, if it's a newbie, then that can be a problem, because an appreciative inquiry is not only about gathering, oh, this product is so great, oh, everything is beautiful, everything is perfect. It's not going to be like that. That is when you are newbie. You're only going to be able to pull all the beautiful things. But if you are more on the expert side of doing an appreciative inquiry, you are going to get the appreciative inquiry results, the insights that you need to get. You are going to get the opportunities, and you might even get the opportunity to get results similar to a usability testing because you are paying attention to those points of friction. Because a lot of times when you're doing an appreciative inquiry, you're not just asking questions. You might have the product in front of you, and that user might have the opportunity to navigate the product and tell you how it's working. And in that process, you are able to discover many different things that either can be for improvements or they can be for, you know, fixes. I'm getting tired already. Okay. So let's see. Usability testing, the pros and cons of usability testing. Again, usability testing, pinpointing those exact pain points, those challenges that the user is encountering when you go to a website, when you are, when your user is purchasing a product, when your user is exiting from the shopping cart, when your user is browsing your product, whatever it is, you want to be able to identify those points. Are they being successful in their tasks? That is what you want to be able to discover. You want to be able to measure the data. You want to be able to understand, when you go in there, you want to be able to understand, are we trying to test conversion? Are we trying to test the visuals? Are we trying to test what is it that you are trying to test? The whole point of a usability testing is that you have to have clear tasks that a user or customer can accomplish. You need to already know that this can be done, that this task can be accomplished. All you are testing is how long it's going to take them to do it, or if they can do it in an easy way within seconds. If it's going to take them minutes to be able to accomplish your task, that is a failed test. So you want to be able to measure what success mean in that particular usability testing. And you want to do all of this before the launching. And let me tell you, before that post, after the post launch, you want to be able to have everything as smooth as possible, so that you reduce all of that work in the post launch. So when it comes to the cons, definitely focus on problems, not opportunities. And that's one of the things that about usability testing is that when you are doing it, and most of the time when I am getting a usability report, a lot of people, especially developers and designers, they struggle when they hear the word usability testing, because they feel you are going to come back and you are going to tell them about their mistakes. This is an opportunity for you to be able to point that this is not a mistake. If they are thinking about it that way, is that they are too attached to their work instead of the product goal. So you want to be able to convince them that that usability testing is to provide customers with a better experience. And no matter how many years I have done this, I always find a designer, a developer, or some business person that is struggling because they have a nightmare about what the usability testing report is going to say. So you want to make sure that you are clear about how you present the usability testing to your stakeholders. You do not want to make them stressful. You want to help them understand that this is an opportunity for a successful user experience. Okay? Now, comparison table. And here you're going to see, so when it comes to the usability testing, the appreciative inquiry, people get inspiration from that document. It's all about discovery. You discover what is it that your customers want. And at the end of this presentation, I'm going to give you some examples of appreciative inquiry and usability testing. But you definitely want to have that discovery part of the appreciative inquiry, and qualitative, really about just really trying to get the right questions so that you can get the right response from the people that you are interviewing. When it comes to the usability testing, is discover everything that you can fix, find the problem early, and identify it early so that you can fix it early. You want to evaluate every little piece of that product in order for the customer not to find the problems. You do not want the customers to find that problem after. A lot of people, when I think it's unprofessional, they're going to get frustrated and they might not come back. So all of those, we want to find all of these issues early. We want to be able to fix it, and we want to identify, okay, how many users had this problem versus how many users, did not experience it. So that is where the quantitative quantitative results come in, because sometimes you might have, let's say you do a usability testing with 100 people, right? And if you did it with 100 people, which, I'm talking about like when you do like remote testing and you do it with remote people, depend on how that data come in. You might get a data that says, 80% of the people didn't have a problem with it, right? But that is still a good result. It doesn't mean that you're going to ignore the 20% that didn't get it. That is a good result. But now you want to be able to identify what issues that 20% of people had, so that you can find out if it's going to be a priority fix, or if it's going to be a fix that we can do in the next update, so that you can identify, what is the priority level of this particular feedback that you are receiving. So, and when it comes to this part, inspiration is for the appreciative inquiry, and for the usability testing is basically evaluation, evaluation, evaluation. So in this part here, when to use each of the methods. You want to use appreciative inquiry when you are brainstorming a new feature, like I mentioned before. You want to be able to use it to align stakeholders. When you are talking to stakeholders, you might be talking to marketing stakeholders, you might be talking to project managers, you might be talking to product owners, you might be talking to lots of different people, right? External stakeholders as well. When they tell you exactly what is it that they want, and when you go to the user and find out, that help you be able to give them that information, and now open their eyes to go, wow, this is what the users want. So they might have had a different idea of what the users want, but guess what? You cannot fight the users. All you do is that when you present this information, they are going to study it together, and they will be able to come up with a solution that is agreed up from every position. Everybody's going to agree on this idea. Everybody's going to come to consensus about that particular idea. And that is one of the things, and the method of using the appreciative inquiry, and just really boost the team creativity. Again, appreciative inquiry really help inspire the team. At my current job, people are always excited, always talking about the appreciative inquiry that Sandra Graves, conducted, and always talking about appreciative inquiry. And in all my consulting jobs, sometimes I just do audits. I'm hired to be able to just go through a website and just go to a particular product, or just talk to customers and do an appreciative inquiry. when it comes to the usability testing part of it is before major design. You do not want to be spending lots of money, okay, on a product without conducting a usability testing. The usability testing is going to help you not spend that much money, because after you build it, after it's launched, after you put it out there, it is going to be costly. So you want to do it before any major design, any major changes. Put it in front of your customers. Even if you think that you are a customer and you know exactly what this product need, because you are going to be buying this product, let me tell you something. You are not the customer. Even if you think you are the customer, you are not the customer. You have to put it in front of people that are not the people that you are working with, people that are not the business, people that are not the developers or the graphic designers or the UXers involved in this product. No one involved in your company should be the users. You have to pick other users because it's already buyers. They already um, have stake in the matter, and they're not going to be able to give you good feedback. And then just validate, and testing the flows to make sure that user can go through the flow of your product easily. It's not about, you know, what I was going to say. It's not about that, okay, you have it, it is done, you finally launch a product. That is not what it's about. It is about, first of all, when they go in there, it have to look good. Then it have to be easy to use. Then it have to be sticky to the point that it have to be something that they need in order for them to go back and use it over and over again. Example, YouTube is a perfect example. YouTube is sticky. You are listening to me here on YouTube because YouTube make it easy for you to watch a video, learn from a video. The experience on YouTube is amazing. They're always making upgrade. They know how to provide a good user experience because they're always testing their product. Okay, when it comes to the method for improvement, and that is what it does is that it create an emotional um, experience for the user. So when I'm asking questions to the customers, to the users, they really get excited. One of the feedback that I got from users is like, wow, I'm really excited that you reach out to me just to ask for my opinion. They really like that. They feel valued. And that is how you get word of mouth out, because someone felt special, and that way that you made them feel, they're going to start spreading that to other people. And then it also helped you differentiate yourself from your competitors, because now the voice of these customers, these users, are going to go out and start comparing about how they was treated by you versus how they were treated by their competitors. And if you make that connection in that appreciative inquiry, if you make that positive connection, they just want to pull out everything that they have. They want to tell you more and more and more about what is it that they want, the product that they saw. They want to tell you something that worked. They want to tell you a product that was really, really good, that they really like, and you should implement this, in this product. So they want to give you more ideas because they're excited about what you are presenting them. When it comes to the usability testing, that part is going to be more, again, reduces the support tickets. In that part, every time someone call customer service and say, I'm having a hard time with the product, I cannot log in, I cannot buy, like every time. And I know, because I can be one of those people that get frustrated when I know that the application is supposed to work easy, and when I have a problem with the application, I don't have the patience. I close it. I have to come back to it when I have time, because if I have to do it over and over again, I get frustrated. So just imagine me that work in the digital industry, software industry, and I understand the struggles that developers, graphic designers, and users go through, and I still get frustrated. Just imagine how customers get frustrated. So if we want to increase conversion rates, we need to conduct usability testing. That is how that is going to be done. If we want to prevent costly launches and crazy, horrible fixes later, that all you're going to hear is complaint from the higher ups, and it's going to be very challenging for us to be able to see that return on investment. Then please conduct a usability testing. Talk to your customers, talk to your users. And then when it comes, this is another, let me see, did I present you with that one already? Yes, okay. So the example here. So when it comes to the difference between appreciative inquiry and usability testing, uh, if you think about a fitness app, right? In a fitness app, the first thing that I want to do is that I want to put together questions. I want to interview people that I believe that are interested in a fitness app, or people that may be already interested in fitness. There are people well in different areas. So you want to interview different segments of people interested in some kind of a fitness. And then you want to be able to ask them questions. You want to do this in a form of when, like when you're doing interview, you want to interview them as an appreciative inquiry. And if you actually have a product, which most of the time I do have a product, and I want to be asking them what they think about the product, how they use the product, things like that, without actually testing them, just making them go through it. In this example here, tell us about a time or what app made your workout feel effortless or fun. At this point, you are talking to them, but at the same time, you are paying attention to their face. If people have a complaint, they're gonna have well, let me tell you, and they're gonna spit it all out. And if they had a good experience, they're gonna tell you how fun it was, that experience. And if they did not like the color, and they will tell you, well, I really like this color, but I prefer this color. And this is how they're gonna tell you. So you, in your questioning, you are gonna discover, hey, I hate when an app give me workouts that is going to be like for 1 hour, and they're going to be very clear that at this point in this example, they want workout that are 3 minutes. And let me tell you, I don't even keep up with 3 minutes workout. Okay. So if an app create a 3 minutes workout that I can do and I will lose weight, I'd be so happy with that app. Okay. But again, this is an example. When it comes to the usability testing for the same fitness app, you test it with real users. Appreciative inquiry, it can be with potential users when you gather in ideas with users, or it can be with real users as well. But the usability testing should be with real users, people that are really going to use your product. So you want to be able to conduct a survey first to be able to eliminate those people that are not going to be using your product, and make sure that you have people that are actually going to be using your product. And then in this example, in our usability testing, you can discover, right? They want they're finding the meal plan. Was it easy for them? You want to be able to discover frictions and them trying to, you know, go through the meal plan, right? understand how the meal plan works. How many days a week do they have to, go through this whole process of the meal plan? Well, that is how usability testing will help you. Okay, and to finish up here, again, this is your faithful friend Sandra Graves. And remember, appreciative inquiry is ideal for early stage ideations. Appreciative inquiry is best for early stage ideation, and usability testing is best for refining your existing product or design with real users. Refining your existing product with real users. That's how you want to be able to conduct it. So if you are interested in having a consultant look at your product, or you have a website, you have an actual product that you would like me to look at, I can either conduct an appreciative inquiry, when is it that you're going to need that based on this presentation, or if you want to conduct a usability testing, I will be happy to help you with that out too. And if you are a designer or a new researcher or whatever, new in the field, and you need a mentor, someone to help you through this, please also connect with me and let me know. I do put courses from time to time. I do workshops, but I also do one-on-ones. I'm getting choked up here. But I also do one-on-ones, mentoring, if you are interested in that. But mostly I focus on consulting. And that is, you tell me what product that you want me to take a look at. I can organize the users for you. Most of this is done remotely. And I can organize that for you and be able to talk to the users. If you have someone that already want to be doing the interviews, I can help with putting the questions together, putting the usability testing plan together, or putting the appreciative inquiry plan together. Ugh, I am tired. Oh my goodness. That was a lot of talking. But I'm always doing a lot of talking anyway. Anyway, if you want to reach out to me through LinkedIn, or you can reach out to me by email. That will be Sandra Graves Events at gmail.com. I had so many emails from all of these different websites that I have, and I decided to eliminate them because it's too much checking. Now, either you reach out to me through LinkedIn or through Sandra Graves Events at gmail.com. Oh, that was a mouthful. Anyway, you have a good one. Thank you for taking the time to listen to me. And please comment. Tell me if you have any questions. What did you like about this? And maybe you have something that you can teach us that you know about appreciative inquiry, either benefits or cons of doing either one, usability testing or appreciative inquiry. Anyway, and as always, as I say in every one of my videos, don't forget to pray. Bye.